everybody. Welcome to the Hallmarkies podcast and Merry Christmas. We are here to talk about two more of the films from the Countdown to Christmas and Miracles of Christmas over on Hallmark Channel, Hallmark Movies and Mysteries. Today, we're talking about two of the films from this last weekend. We're talking about Mystery on Mistletoe Lane and Everything Christmas. It'll be super fun. I'm film critic Rachel Wagner. Jasmine's here.
Hey, everybody.
And Sari Cohen is here.
Hey.
Yes, so you're pretty new. I forget which if you've been on Hallmarkies versus, I think you've been on Hallmarkies once before versus my other show. But since you're pretty new to the audience, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Yes. No, I'm Sari Cohen. I'm an entertainment journalist and critic based out of Los Angeles. And usually you can find me every weekend interviewing celebrities on a TV show called Hollywood First Look, which airs on cable.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm excited. we always have a good time together. So
yes. We're both members of the well, now it's, what's it called now? They changed it. It was the Hollywood Critics Association, whatever it is now.
Hollywood Creative Alliance.
Okay. But yeah, we're both members and we both have a ton of fun and we're excited. So would you say that you are a Hallmarkie? Do you like these rom-coms?
I do.
Yes.
I get very I especially this time of year. I'm very connected to the Hallmark Channel. But yeah, I this time of year I love just getting super sappy and binge watching.
It's just fun. It's just relaxing. There's so much stress out there.
Totally.
We need it.
You can get lost in these.
Yeah.
It's good.
Jasmine, how do you feel the season has been so far? Do you think that we're on week 4? How do you think it's gone?
Between me, you, and everybody in the universe, this is my first week actually watching. Oh my gosh, you guys might get me. It's been a whirlwind. I'm like, I'm missing out on great movies right now, and somehow I actually have to sit down Thursday and Friday and actually watch movies. I'm like, this is gonna be a long binge watching moment between now and Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay. Well, everybody, give your recommendations for Jasmine.
Yes, give me your recommendations. I've been seeing some. I've seen the Christmas Summit. Everyone's talking about that right now. I've seen Andrew's movie been talking about. So I'm like, okay, send me the recommendations for the first 3 weeks that I've missed.
Yeah, but hashtag Jasmine Christmas picks. And let's do it. Let's all right. Well, the first one that we're going to talk about is Mystery on Mistletoe Lane. And this was on Movies and Mysteries. And it's new to town. Heidi and her kids, Annie and Garrett, discover a Christmas mystery in their historic home. Local handyman and historian David helps along the way, finding his own surprising connection. So this was directed by Alan Harmon, writers Mark Hefty, Kevin Duda, Robert Bastron, and stars Victor Webster and Erica Serra. So Jasmine, this was your first of the season that you watched? Or did you? Yeah. What do you think overall? What do you think?
I know for sure I want to watch it again because I saw the mystery within the first maybe 30 minutes or 45 minutes while putting together a pet stroller. Yes, it was during the pet. Yeah, my aunt bought me a pet stroller, y'all. So Miko has a pet stroller with a carrier. but I actually enjoyed the mystery. I sat here I figured this out, but I'm still watching this, and I'm sitting here I want to go to this this house. I want to find reindeer. There were some good moments. We'll talk about it, but I was here for this hunt and just discovering things of Christmas. I'm here for it.
What did you think? Sorry.
Well, okay, so I did the ultimate test. I had my boyfriend watch both of these.
Oh, Good.
So,
Ooh.
and he actually gave the thumbs up on this one. He was very into it. I was like, okay, that's a good bar right there.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was super sweet. It was very endearing. I was really along for the ride. Like I was with them every step of the way. I thought it was out of the two movies, this one by far was both of our favorites. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this one was probably my favorite of the two. I thought they were both fine. I enjoyed both of them. They were both decent. But neither like wowed me. The biggest problem with this movie is that it's not a mystery. It should just be called Scavenger Hunt on Mistletoe Lane. It like there's no sleuthing. There's no like it's not a mystery. There's no like detectives. There's no crime. There's no like it's not a mystery.
Yeah.
Like the Santa stakeout that they did, was way more of a mystery. Like there was a crime that happened and things, there was officers involved and they were looking into. I mean, maybe I'm too confined in what I think of as a mystery, but I don't think this. I just think the title of this movie led me, at least, to thinking it would be different and something. There's no amateur sleuthing. It's not a mystery. It's just a like fun hunt.
Yes. Oh, totally agree. It really kind of tricked my brain at first because I was expecting like more of it felt just like a Halloween thing. Like I was expecting something. I'm like, oh, is it haunted?
Yeah.
Where's the mystery? You're totally right. Where's the mystery? And then obviously as the scavenger hunt started to unfold.
Well, and like last year, if people want, I think it was called A Christmas Mystery on HBO Max. There was way more of a mystery. It was actually super fun. It involved like the little kids looking into stuff, so that was, it kind of had like a bit of a Goonies feel to it a little bit with this, like, what was it? It was like a magic, I can't remember. It was some kind of magic thing that got stolen, and then they're all looking for it and looking for the clues and who stole it. And so there was a crime, there was mystery involved. This just was like, let's look for the clues, the fun little reindeers hidden. But I do think it was well cast. I think Victor Webster was really good in this. He was very charismatic, and he was your classic man of many jobs. That's what I say on these movies. He was like,
I always see him as Coop from Charmed. Do you remember? Charmed?
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
back.
Totally. So as soon as I'm like, oh, it's Coop.
He also had a very memorable guest spot on Sex and the City. For people that are interested in that. But yeah, he was good. And I mean, they even introduced him as the man with many jobs. Literally, the lady's like, Victor here, or whatever his name was, can do anything. He's so great around the the house. And
meanwhile, she took his job.
Yeah. And so she has two kids. And she says that his old job is mine. So she's taking his job, but he's like good at everything. So it doesn't matter too much. And as they moved into the house, it was kind of funny to me that they started out with like an unsafe working environment for this poor mover, like the floorboard. Like,
I know.
Oh boy. But they find the note on the back of the painting, and that's kind of what starts this scavenger hunt going. And let's see here, it says it's signed by JR, and then you see WR on the drawer. And I did think it was kind of funny when she gets spooked by that nutcracker. She's like, oh.
Yeah, it was a big nutcracker.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest thing in this movie is basically it was kind of like the great decoration scavenger hunt. They're always finding more and more decorations in this house. The house exists only for Christmas decorations.
and storage of Christmas
Oh, there's another
decorations.
room. Oh, more Christmas decorations. And that was really fun. I guess it's called Mistletoe Manor. So it was gonna.
Yeah. And
What
that was
else
the
is
mystery of it all because
Yeah.
I kept asking about it. Like people were like, no, like it doesn't exist. Like, are you sure? I'm like, we found all this stuff. There has to be some records.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
The front is the back is the front, the whole, yeah, it was it was funny that I kept waiting for a different mystery, like when there was the first character that showed up to introduce himself at the beginning, and immediately I'm like, oh, is it Santa? Is it like where is
Yeah.
yeah, it's but yeah, in the spirit of Christmas, it was spot
Well,
on.
they find the Santa painting,
Mhm.
and it turns so there's Victor Webster, and then his father is in the movie, and then his father's father is the one who is in the picture, but that wasn't his, like, that his stepdad is the one who raised him. So then we find this out through the course of the story that he had a different main father from his father, and so that's where all these clues are coming from, is from these poems, and these clues are coming from his father, his birth father, I guess you should say.
Yeah, the reason I figured it out was because when they went to the fireplace, I saw WA, but I didn't get the dad's name at all. So I'm like, what if it's David's dad, who is really the son, and his sister died? Like, I was like, that's my theory. I'm sticking to it. It came to life. I was like, shoot, let me be on this movies and mysteries. Hallmark, call me.
Yeah, so that his dad became Wallace Avery when his mom got remarried.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but he was WR before. So you're starting to put all the I guess the pieces together.
Yeah.
And they find clues with all the decorations, and they have this tribute tree that there's this big, like, board meeting, which usually that's like death in a movie, but it's just nothing more boring. But they're talking about, like, are they gonna fire her? Are they gonna get rid of the historical society? What's gonna happen?
But I'm glad homegirl stood up and said, we didn't check your job. I was like, thank you, because he'd been a screws
Yeah.
this whole time with Heidi. I'm like, someone stand up to him because he was really on the power trip, what she said.
Yeah.
I love how it was a female mayor too, who stood up.
Yes.
Like,
Mhm.
boy, sit down. Sit down, young man.
Yeah. Bring Mistletoe Manor back to the way
Yeah.
it used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let's see here. I did kind of crack up when they're slow dancing to Joy to the World. It made me laugh because our friend Dory, she hates it when they dance slow to Christmas songs. She's just like, it's not a
Awkward.
sexy song. It's about
Sorry, Dory.
So whenever when I laugh, because ooh, joy to the world, like, I don't know, it's just ridiculous.
I don't know
Thank
about
you,
you
Nico.
too.
True.
Yeah, it's gonna be my wedding song.
All right. Yeah. that'd be
Totally.
good. You're like taking notes.
Yeah. Ooh, this is very
But yeah. And I mean, this is another one where I don't think they even really needed any romance. It was just like this side thing that was just in there just because it's a Hallmark movie. It didn't really need it. It was all about, this movie just could have been about her and her kids, and Victor's character, reconciling with his dad and stuff like that. Like, we did not need the slow dancing to Joy to the World.
Definitely. Like, I could have seen at the end where, like, they started to, like, have feelings for each other along the way. But I agree about the reconcile with the dad and everything like that. And it was just, I feel like the romance was kind of like added like super last, where I was just more involved with like the mystery of the house, like everything in between with the town. Like, the romance was not my priority.
Ho, ho, ho. We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies Patreon.
Do you love Hallmarkies podcast, especially at Christmas?
Do you enjoy the holiday previews, recaps, interviews, and bonus episodes?
If the answer is yes, please consider supporting the Hallmarkies Patreon. We need your help to do what we do both during the Christmas season and all year round.
But not only do you help a podcast led by strong, independent women by becoming a Patreon, you get to become a part of the Hallmarkies family.
Starting at only $2 a month as a patron, you will have access to our Facebook Patreon group where we talk about the movies, shows, and more all year.
We also have many monthly patron watch-alongs with guests like Lacey Chabert, Natalie Hall, Paul Campbell, Mary Lou Henner, and more, giving their behind-the-scenes details of their films.
As a patron, you also have the chance to provide input into the podcast and even join us at different tiers.
So this Christmas season, spread some cheer to the Hallmarkies Patreon and become a member today. You won't regret it.
Go to patreon.com/Hallmarkies to learn more.
That's patreon.com/Hallmarkies.
Yeah. So we learned that this John Rawlings, the grandfather, that he became a shell of himself because of his grief, and this Dora, that she died, and he just couldn't deal with it, and it became very sad. And so that's kind of a running theme through the story is this sort of redemption of this John Rawlings character. You get to see. And what do you think of, are you ready to make yourself some candy cane strudel?
Yeah.
I'm down. Where was the recipe? Like, I was like, let me try this.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then I think somebody said it sounds kind of weird, but it has candy cane, so it has to be good.
Anything with candy canes.
Yeah.
Oh
there
my
you go.
gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely puts me in the mood for that.
Yeah. And then we get like a whole skating sequence, because you got to have those in a Hallmark Christmas movie.
Definitely.
They keep finding all these reindeers with little poems and clues, and there's on the frame they find a puzzle, just stuff like that. The puzzle on the frame reminds him of a sleigh and a scroll and then they find in the sleigh, they find this reindeer. The thing that I was like, how long are these clues supposed to have been in these places?
There was 8 reindeers, so let's see if I'm Rudolph. But other than that, I'm like,
like, I mean, is this supposed to, like, nobody who's used this sleigh in all these years, nobody who's used Mistletoe Manor, because it's not like it was abandoned. Nobody has found any of these clues.
And if you think about it, the main character, the guy, or the love interest, Victor Webb, right? He's the guy who does everything. So you would think he would have uncovered that years before. But I mean, in the spirit of Christmas and romance and all things like that, it would make sense that she moves in and then they make the discovery together. And
you know what? It kind of reminded me of what was it called? The Every Time a Bell Rings. That was very similar in this. That in that case, you had these girls who had all been adopted, and they end up like looking for different clues all over the city. So yeah, that one was very similar to this one. But that one I think had like a little bit more heart, a little more heft to it, because you were dealing with multiple characters and you had all this sort of adoption element in there. But then they get to the night before Christmas, and I thought the best sequence is when his dad is talking about the memories of his dad.
Yeah,
that was very sweet, and you know, he didn't have a whole lot of them, but kind of taking a second to remember. And especially because you got a feeling that maybe he kind of resented his dad for a while, and this was a way of kind of remembering the good things. I thought that was the best part of the movie.
I agree.
Yeah,
No, definitely.
Yeah.
Especially the ending when they're reading the book and like he finds the deed. Like, so wait a minute, so who really had like the real, like this the original deed? The city owned the property. There's a lot of mysteries that need to like be solved in this
Yeah. 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 I was a little like, I don't really quite like it was, I think the whole point was just for him to, it was a way of like his dad to reach out to his son and grandson and for the family to have this sort of redemption and together and then along the way the house was kind of saved, the society was saved, I guess, because there's a then the councilman has a picture of his mom and sorry I misjudged you and so everybody's saved and everyone's happy and it's all all the clues have been found and yeah. So I would give this one, I would give it 3 crowns. I enjoyed it. I'd probably watch it again, maybe even paying closer attention to all the clues, but it was cute enough. What would you give it out of 5? Sorry.
I'm with you. I would give it a 3.
Mhm.
I think I would definitely recommend it. It's something fun to watch with the family. Like I said, I watched it with my boyfriend and he enjoyed it. So that should
Yeah.
tell you. It's yeah, it was really sweet and
Yeah.
really endearing and really did give me a good feeling, which
Yeah.
is what Hallmark movies do. So
Yeah. What would you give it, Jazzman?
I would give it a 3.5.
Okay, good.
I definitely will watch it again.
We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's Esther Hatch and her new book, One Small Secret. Step into the whimsical world of One Small Secret, where a dash of laughter and a sprinkle of Christmas cheer makes for the perfect festive read. Reuben Palmer is not only a Hotel Empire icon, he is also on every woman's Christmas list. But Cadence knows better than to fall for him. However, when a very adorable package ends up on her bed, Reuben is suddenly on her doorstep, wanting to be part of her life. Inspired by the classic movies Bachelor Mother and Bundle of Joy, this workplace rom-com is the perfect book to curl up and read with a cup of hot cocoa and your favorite blanket. So you can pick up One Small Secret anywhere you purchase novels or using our affiliate link down below. So now we have everything Christmas. Sorry, did you get the boyfriend to watch this?
I did.
Wow.
He was not as big of a fan with this one as the other, and
Yeah,
I would have
a lot
to
to talk about.
I think this one is a tougher sell.
Yes.
I enjoyed it, but I think it's a tougher sell.
Yes, definitely. Yeah,
Especially to the novice.
I had a harder time getting through it. I think it was a little too pleasant all the way through, which is coming
a little
from me
manic.
because it just was. I mean, the idea is everything Christmas, but it was overwhelming to me. Like I need something else here, between all the names of the towns and everything. It was a little too perfect and planned and predictable. Yeah.
So this one, it's Everything Christmas. Director Marnie Bonek. We don't have the writer on IMDb at least. Stars Kat Barrow, Cindy Busby, Corey Sevier, Matt Wells, and it's Christmas enthusiast Lori Joe embarks on an epic 3-day road trip with her workaholic best friend Victoria to the town where it's Christmas all year round. They run into handsome, like-minded strangers, Zach and Jason. Jazzman, what do you think of this one overall?
I have to agree. This was between the movie Pleasantville and the Brady Bunch of Cindy's character, LJ being like the Jan of the movie, merged into one with Christmas through up. But I love the little towns. Don't get me wrong, but she was up there. Cindy was up there. I'm like, I've never seen her up there. Maybe she found her niche outside of national parks. She found her niche.
Yeah, I think this is one of Cindy's best performances. She's a lot. in this, her character is a lot, I should say, in this movie. But I could, maybe it's because I'm a lot at Christmas. I had fun with that part of it. I thought it was kind of amusing. But where it really got me, where this movie worked, I think for me, was everything with her and her grandma. And when she talks about how much she misses her grandma, that got me. I miss my grandma so much. Both my grandmas, but in particular, the one I was really good friends with, and she passed away in 2019, and I especially during Christmas, I miss her. We had so much fun together, and we did a especially memorable trip in 2000 out to well, 2001 actually. No, it was 2000 December 2000. We went to New York City to see the Rockettes because my grandma loved the Rockettes, and so that's a special Christmas memory I'll always have. Me and my cousin, we convinced, we're like, Grandma, we could go to see the Rockettes, Christmas spectacular. So when she's talking about how much she misses her grandma, that totally worked for me, and I don't know, I loved that moment. I think it was very effective.
This was your story, Rachel. This was
Yeah.
this was your story. Like this is it. Like I love this. Like,
and she has that ornament that's for her grandma, and then when it gets destroyed, I was like
Yeah, that really touches me.
yeah.
And I would agree. My grandma is 93 and she lives in New York, and I was saying, I've talked to her all the time, and it's been a few days since I've talked to her, and throughout that movie I must have said 17 times, I need to call my grandma. I need to call her like right now. And I did. As soon as the movie ended, I actually did.
Oh, I love that.
You were right.
And she says, my parents didn't always understand me, but she did. That is emotionally true. That is, I mean, I just hope that everyone has somebody that's that person for them. And it was my grandma, and then my grandfather on the other side, who passed away in 2001. And I miss him every day of my life. I miss him. And you just hope that everybody has one person like that in their life that gets them, that isn't like, it's good to have those like tough talking people who give you the tough, advice, and like all that's valuable, and everybody has different relationships with different people. But I just hope that everybody has one person who's just their biggest fan, who just loves them.
I was trying to cry. This is beautiful.
I think everybody needs to have one person who just loves them. And I feel like for a lot of us, our grandparents are that person, because they're not required to do the heavy lifting of, daily discipline and daily, that you're like a parent is. But they are just there to be like, we love you, you're amazing. And all my grandparents are gone now. So that really just was a true moment in this movie. And I thought that she sold it well. I think this was one of her best acting performances. But I mean, everything else, the plot, it was just like, whatever, it's fine. Like,
well,
really, it's
when you put it like that, though, I gotta tell you, like, now I'm looking at it through a different lens, because I didn't see it like that, but it really, you're right. I mean, that it's that's yeah.
The one thing about this movie is it continues the long-standing Hallmark tradition of car problems leading to love. I mean, that's the problem I have. That's why I have not found love, is because my cars are too reliable.
You right.
I'm too safe a driver. I mean, this meet cute with the
yeah.
And it happened like 4 times. There was all these.
We just need a girls' road trip in an unreliable car in a little town somewhere in Middle America, and see what happens.
Yeah, and a magical Santa that is matchmaker during the holiday season. I'm sitting here like, Santa, I have a list. Help me out. Like, I'm right here.
Yeah, your boyfriend's like, I don't know if I want you going on this trip.
Yeah, exactly. Skip this one.
I see how boyfriends are treated in Hallmark movies.
Is it work related? Do you really
Yeah.
have to?
You'd be like, you're
Like,
not a
he can
bad
be
man
the
of
handyman
business.
if he
Don't worry.
likes.
Okay, so here's the big question. Do we want hot chocolate with marshmallows or without? He gets extra, she gets none. How do we feel?
That's
Hard.
really hard.
Yeah.
That's a really hard one. 'Cause it depends on the mood, but I'm going with.
Yeah, yeah.
With.
Yeah, I need marshmallows.
Yeah.
Like, if there's extra candy canes from the last movie, like throw those in there too.
Yeah, I would always pick whipped cream over marshmallows, but I'm going for the bonus. I want extra.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, are you doing flavor whipped cream or are you doing traditional? That's the real question.
I mean, as much extra as you can get, I want it. I mean, that's what's so it's so funny in these movies because your hot beverage order is either you're a good person if you order like black coffee, plain, you're a good person, and you're a good person if you get like the gingerbread double candy cane, special Christmas drink, right? Of course, eggnog, whatever. But you're not a good person if you go into a store and order a double soy latte. You're a bad person. I mean, it's so true.
So true. That is
Like,
such a good thing. I never really thought about that before, but you're right. You actually know the character immediately
Yeah.
by what they order at a restaurant or at a
Mhm.
at a
So
coffee
if you know that he is a good person, he gets extra marshmallows on his hot chocolate. Like he is a winner.
He's a keeper. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies merch store.
Are you looking for that perfect gift for the postable, hardy, or Hallmarky in your life?
What about getting that t-shirt or hoodie that will help you stand out at your next holiday party?
Now is the time to check out the Hallmarkies merch store.
Full of festive designs by artists like Jessica Miller, Carrie from Hallmark Comics, and more.
You can even have more than just shirts, but totes, cell phone cases, notebooks, mugs, and more.
And it isn't just Hallmark. We have designs for Anna Green Gables, Man from Snowy River, The Nanny, and more.
Every purchase at the merch store goes to help support the podcast and allows us to make the great content you know and love.
There are frequent sales, so go to tpublic.com/stores/Hallmarkies or see the link in the description.
That's tpublic.com/stores/Hallmarkies.
The other thing too is there's this whole discussion between Tori and whatever Cindy's character's name is.
LJ.
LJ. There's this whole discussion between Tori and LJ about being spontaneous versus being practical. And I'm totally on team practical. I think that, yeah, every once in a while, like just doing something spontaneous can be fun, I guess. But I think that for me, a lot of the fun of most activities is in like the planning of the activity and like making it look pretty and making it look fun and having like in talking the anticipation of whatever it is that you're doing. If you're having a party or dinner party or what are we going to do? Who's going to be there? Are they going to be, what music are we gonna, all that stuff is stuff that's like, that's part of the fun of it to me. So just being like, let's just go usually sucks and usually ends up meaning that you don't have very much fun. And so I'm team practical. How do you feel? Sorry.
I like a good combination of both. I
Yeah.
really do. I like to kind of keep my options open, to be able to fly by the seat of my pants and to not know what's going to happen, but at the same time to kind of be grounded, and then like make the plans, but like don't always keep your options open as to what can happen next.
Mm-hmm.
That's a hard one. I liked the way they complemented each other, and I liked the way that they both found love in their own ways, and the way that it played to like, you can be a dreamer or you can have your feet on the ground, and either way you are just as deserving as of having the most amazing, incredible rewards, you know.
Yeah, it's true. What do you think, Jazzman? Are you team spontaneous?
I am 80-20. So like I definitely want to plan like my adventure. Like, yes, I'm down to the T if I'm going either out of town with family or if I'm doing concert stuff. Like, I'm doing stuff outside of it per se. But that last 20%, you never know. It could be a wild card where I'm like, okay, let me go hang out here. Let me go there. Let me go check out this. So I'm in that 80-20, situation.
Yeah. Well, and I did like that she talks about, you can definitely over plan, because she talks about how she had always wanted to go to Yuletide Springs. And that's the whole point of this whole road trip, this journey, to go to Yuletide Springs for Christmas. But there was always a reason to not go. And that's when she starts talking about how much she misses her grandma. And, I've thought about that many, many times, that using this trip that I took with my grandma in New York City. And actually my cousin who went with us ended up passing away 6 months later. And so I'm just so grateful that we took the chance that we had, the opportunity that we had, and did it, instead of just being like, oh, or whatever. And I think COVID taught us that a lot of us that, like,
it sure did.
We kind of realized like it could be taken away and we wouldn't be able to do all these things that you keep putting off.
It's kind of just very real to life of like, you can plan and plan and plan and plan. And as my grandma used to say, like, man plans, God laughs, like man plans, the universe laughs, because you can plan all you want and life very rarely works out the way that you hope to. But if you're lucky, if you kind of keep that hope alive, feel like the universe most of the time has better plans for us than we had for ourselves.
Yeah. But I would say in general, if you're listening and you are kind of like, oh, should I do this? Should I not do it? Like, obviously there's certain factors that you have to like budget and everything's like that. But I would say if it's within possible, go and do wherever possible. Go and do it. And certainly don't let just like being tired or being like, go and do. I can't think of a time when I have pushed myself to do a trip, go to a show, do something, even if I end up not liking the show or the trip or the whatever that much, I'm still always glad that I did it and that I went. Take advantage of the chances that you have. And a lot of times it can just be within your own area. Like, it doesn't even have to be like a big trip. It can, like, there's lots of stuff, even after all these years of living in Utah, that stuff I've never done here. And sometimes it takes somebody coming into town and being like, oh, can we go do, oh, okay, yeah, let's go do that. but yeah, so I thought that rang true. I was totally digging Jason, the guy that was for Tori. He was a stud in my book. He's like a freelancer. He's working from the road. He's like, I was tired of having the job and I want to make time for adventure. And then he's like, well, what about she's like, well, I always wanted to have a family. He's like, well, what about career, family? It doesn't have to be one or the other. He was just awesome. He was like saying all the right things in my view.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned him. My boyfriend actually referred to him as, he's like, he kind of is given the Ryan Gosling vibe.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah, La La Land. Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
Matt Wells.
Yeah,
like I wouldn't mind him going into the lineup with the men of Hallmark.
Yeah, he was new to me. He's a stud. I like him.
He's been in a bunch of stuff with TV shows and stuff. I'm like, where have you been all our lives? Like, welcome in to the Hallmark family. No, I felt like Santa made him in a toy shop just for Tori, and I was here for it. Like, Santa, if you're out there, this is what I want in a toy soldier.
Yeah, more Jason. I mean, just being this like hunky freelancer, I'm all for that. Yeah. That's my dream, man.
it is.
And Corey was good too. He was just more of an enigma. The whole thing,
In
which
the
is like a
Christmas
pier.
sweaters, it was just the Christmas sweaters got me right away.
It just felt like LJ and Zach's character literally were like these elves that were made by Santa, and they're living in this like big, Earth world, and like they find each other, like, oh my gosh, like we're matching, we're cute. And I was like, this is definitely like a cute, like,
Yeah.
I love Christmas.
I do think there was a little bit of meta going on here with them, kind of like, it wasn't full on out parody, but there was like, I think they were poking fun at the Hallmarkies a little bit.
And that's why that, in going back to the beginning of like where it was everything was perfect. I mean, it really was. It was everything Christmas. If you were to throw everything happy about Hallmark into one movie, this is it. Like you've got everything here. Yeah.
They gave us this movie, like, I love Tobey Maguire and Reese Witherspoon in Pleasantville. They gave us a Pleasantville version of Christmas that I did not know I needed. And now I need to rewatch it for the undertone of what really truly matters within this story about grandma and like doing everything and just taking those risks. Doesn't matter, everything is off course. Like, can they really make a Pleasantville Christmas one like again? Like,
we already had that. There's one with Michael Rady where they even go black and white this season.
I saw clips of that, so I need to actually watch that.
It was on the mind of the I mean, I guess that's why the Christmas throw up didn't really bother me that much, because I felt like it was a little bit wink wink. It was kind of funny to me.
But I'm down to go to that gingerbread place though. Like, I'm down. Anything gingerbread, I'm a sucker for it. That's my weakness. Like, I'm going anything gingerbread.
That is literally my coffee creamer flavor right now.
Oh yeah. One thing, so the big main tree, and when they get to Yuletide Springs, I thought it was so ugly. I hated it. I had all that like white gauze around it. It looked like medical tape. I really didn't like it.
I was disappointed. Like, I thought this tree was gonna be like kind of like, at Rockefeller Center, like this is gonna be this grand tree, like, this is the town of all towns about Christmas, and I expected this tree to be like amazing. I'm like,
I hated it. I did not like it. Like, what is all this bandaging? And it looks like it has medical bandaging.
It's been there a long time.
It needs help. It needs love.
But then when she broke that ornament, she's on the ladder reaching out. I was like, oh.
There's a lot I need to explain. Like, sis, you have a concussion and you worried about the ornament. Like, are you okay? Mind you, a couple of scenes before that, after she was talking to the town mayor, Tori was like, you need help. I'm not sure if the fall helped her or not. I don't know.
Well, and she's absolutely, I think it's Tori who says that, it's that that grandma's watching you. It's not about this ornament. And of course that's true, but I would be devastated if I have a dolls that my grandma gave me. And I would be devastated if one of them got ruined or broke or whatever. I'd be so sad.
Yeah.
And she's here with you right now. Let's find another one that she would have loved, which was very sweet and comforting and true. And of course we have to talk a little bit about Santa in this movie. Like, he was in a lot, like more than I was expecting.
Like, he was the he was the fairy godmother, but in Christmas fashion.
Yeah.
That we didn't know we needed, in a sense, teaching us lessons along the way.
Yeah.
Like the old, Saint Nick movies that I usually watch every year.
It was kind of fun. And it was sort of like Matchmaker Santa in that regard. That's a good comparison.
Yeah, he was the real star of the movie for me.
Yeah, it was fun. What do you think of I don't know ECAT, everything Christmas, everything all the time? It was like, it's like they were so inspired by everything everywhere all at once. They're like,
I thought the same thing.
Let's put it into our movie.
That's what this movie was. It was everything Christmas everywhere all the time. So, but yes, the same thing when they did that. I was like, oh, yes.
Yeah.
We were just here last year.
But yeah. we find out that the Santa, his real name is Chris Ronstadt, because they see the license. And but I don't feel like that means he's also not still Santa.
No, he's a real Santa. I don't care what
Yeah.
anybody says in that movie. I don't care what the writer said. I don't care. That was the real Santa. He like Tori was still sus about it. Like, are you sure? Like, no, just tell us you're the real Santa and you make things happen.
Yeah. He no last name can take his Kris Kringleness away from him. He is Santa.
Absolutely. He was living undercover.
Yeah.
With another identity. I totally agree. I totally agree. I think it was kind of cool though that they did, even though they implied that, like, I do kind of think it did leave it up to the viewers to walk away with, was it really Santa, or was it someone, or was it just an illusionist, you know? So
I'm definitely team Santa. And I just like the fact that if this movie exists in the Everything Everywhere All at Once universe, that there's a world where we have like talking rocks and Christmas.
Like, I'm down for the story to become the next movie. I'm 100% down for this.
Let's get Michelle Yeoh on board. Michelle Yeoh, let's get her on board. Executive produce.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Because I think they did. Did you say they did not add the writer on?
It's not on IMDb.
I just saw it. It's T. Booker James who wrote it.
Oh, okay.
They posted it on there just now. Yeah. And
that's so weird. It's on there now. I swear it wasn't before.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
He wrote pretty good, Hallmark movies.
Let's see. Oh yeah, he's done a bunch. Cool. Way to go. So yeah, and then it ends with she gets the ornament, she buys another one and she puts it on the tree, and then they kiss and everything's happy and great, and she's happy at Yuletide Springs. And so this one, it was silly. The plot was like, there really wasn't much of a plot. It was just like them going on this road trip and all these stops and stuff. There wasn't like a whole lot of story here, but I liked Tori and LJ or whatever. I liked Tori and Cindy's character. I thought they were I liked the two friends. I thought that they were good together. I liked the grandma moments. There were enough emotionally true moments, and I liked sort of the winking sensibility at all of us in this crazy Christmas obsessed world that we live in. So I enjoyed it. I give it a 3.5 crowns. It's not like, one of my favorites or anything, but that, especially that grandma moment, really worked for me. What would you give it, Sari?
I was going to say 2.5. I was going to say 2.5, but honestly, after talking to you two, I feel like I have to revisit it. I feel like I need to look at it differently, because
it's okay.
I'm having different feelings about it.
Okay. Jazzman, what about you? What are you going to give it?
I'm definitely going to do a 3.5 and rewatch it for all like the undertow of like the, just sitting here like usually like fall is my favorite season, but also Thanksgiving, because that's like last like when I had with my grandma. So I'm like going into the Christmas season, watching this movie. I'm like, okay, like this definitely need to be rewatched again. But I'm here for like the Pleasantville and like Jan Brady. Also, what it kind of reminds you a little bit of hinting of like, I guess, quote unquote, the Wizard of Oz, where like these three, like these characters getting these 3 different items and like get the post.
It just has a lot of inspirations you can feel in this one.
Yes.
In this one, I would watch it again. So yeah, let us know what you think. If you're listening, what you think of these 2 movies. We'd love to hear your thoughts, how many crowns you would give them. And if you have that person in your life who's your champion, call them and wish them a Merry Christmas. Do it today. You won't regret it. And Sari, how can people find you, follow you?
You can find me on Instagram at The Savvy Scribbler. Make it very hard. TheSavvyScribbler. The Savvy.
And Jazzman?
You can find me here on Instagram, Twitter at Shreem16, SHREEM16.
Right. And you can find me at Rachel's Reviews, all of our social media, iTunes, YouTube, and on Rotten Tomatoes. So check that out. Also, make sure you're following the podcast, the Hallmarkies Pod and Hallmarkies Podcast, all of our social media. And if you are listening on iTunes, please leave your ratings and reviews. That really helps us a lot. 5 stars. And if you are watching on YouTube, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate that. Most of our viewers on YouTube aren't subscribers. So if you're one of those people, please subscribe. And we also have our Patreon group, which is super fun and great chance to talk about all these movies and be involved in the podcast. Please check that out. And then we have our merch store where we have all new holiday designs where you can get your Christmas everything on. It's super fun. Like this shirt that I have on right now is on our store. So please take a look. We kind of had a Barbie inspiration a little bit to some of the designs. There's some pink and other things. So take a look. I'm proud of it. I think it's fun. So there we go. That is this week's episode. So let us know what you think, and wish you all very Merry Christmas. Bye.
Merry Christmas.